automobiles. If you do, maybe we can chill. I don't think you do. So you and me are through. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Hey girl, hey. If you're new to my channel, I am your girl, Madi, and welcome. So today we're introducing a new segment on my channel because I know you saw by the title. This is this is the Black Girl Cheat Code. I created Black Girl Cheat Code because I wanted to see all black girls win. That is my purpose. That is my mission. I want to see all black girls win. And a way you help somebody win is you share the knowledge, right? You share what you know so the next girl can win as well like you. With that being said, no, you don't have to be black to watch this channel. No, it's not racism. No, reverse racism doesn't exist. Just covering all the topics right now. First episode, we are going to discuss credit and credit cards. Because baby, that is what America revolves around. It revolves around credit and credit cards. So, first things first, what is credit? So credit is the ability to borrow money or access goods or services back later. That's all credit is. So you can give anybody credit. You can give, if you give your friends $100. No, actually, if say you do your friend's hair, right? You braid her hair and she said, you know what? I'm gonna pay you on my next pay period. Do my hair first. Great. You just gave her some credit, right? You just gave her a little line of credit because you trust her. She gonna pay you back on her next pay period because you gave her a service. Doing her hair is a service. Same thing, a lot of, you know, back in the day, a lot of mom and pop shops, even some now, right? If they know you, they'll give you credit. So like my pharmacy, I've been going to my pharmacy for years. It's a mom and pop pharmacy, and they'll give me credit. So like, say I have medication to pick up and I don't have money on me at the moment, they'll run a tab for me. When I come back, they'll be like, oh, you gotta pay this much. If my mama goes, oh, it's this much, right? For us to pay, it's like they're giving us an informal line of credit to use at the store because they trust us. One, I've been using them for years, but they know that we will pay them back and we'll give them the money that we owe for giving us our product in advance. Credit. So now the next question is, how do you get credit? So you get credit by credit lines, right? So here are the different credit lines, right? You can do mortgages, personal loans are part of it, student loans, card payments, and credit cards. Those are like, I would say, the top ones of oh my gosh, I have a frog in my throat, guys. Those are, I would say, the top one, like top ways of getting lines of credit is through those ways, right? The easiest way, the two easiest ways now we're talking about are either credit cards, student loans, credit cards, or store cards, which go together with credit cards, honestly. Let's talk about the easiest two ways to gain credit, right? The route most people go to are either student loans, because if you went to school, then you know, student loans, and or credit cards or store cards. Very simple. I've had them all. I have. So a credit card is a payment card, right, issued to users to enable the card holder, you, to pay a merchant for goods and services based on the card holder's promise to the card issuer to pay them for the amount plus the agreed charges. Does that make sense? I'm gonna break it down for y'all. Essentially, what it's saying is a credit card is just a payment card, right? And there's a certain allocated limits in which you can spend on that card based on credit history, right? And we'll get into that. Credit history, how much you get paid, all that good stuff factors into how much an institution, whether it is Chase Bank, Synchrony, Bank of America, MCU, if you don't know what MCU is, it's a credit union in New York, based on those places, right? How much are they willing to offer you in a credit line? Because they'll know you'll be able to pay them back based off how much you make, more likely than not, and other factors like credit history and all that good stuff. So credit cards are really simple and they're really easy to get. A lot of times when you go to stores, they'll offer you a credit card, offer you a store card, and credit cards can be really good in a sense because it helps you build your credit really easily. But here's the downfall of things, right? If you like to buy stuff, like I like to buy stuff, it becomes so tempting just to buy everything in the store and put it on the credit card and be like, I'll pay for that later. I'll think about that later. Think about it now. Because the interest rate on a lot of those store cards are ridiculous. Like 25%. It is atrocious on credit cards. And there is a math to figure out like how much interest you get hit with on a card when you don't. That math is hard. That math is not easy math to do at all. And if I do it, I'm gonna like lose my mind. So I'm not gonna do it, but there is a way to do the math. It just becomes a lot of work. So I would find a calculator online that will do the interest rate for you to figure out how much you'd be paying if you just pay the minimum payment month over month. But that's the trap of credit cards. You can get caught up and buy everything in the store because it's nice when you have this credit card, but when it's time to pay back, you don't got $5 grand to pay back in one time. And if you do, talk to me, holla at me in my DMs. We need to connect about a few things in life. No, but seriously, right? Like that's a lot of money that we're talking about here, and who just got that sitting around like to give away, right? At any point, you don't have the amount that you spent to just put back on the card 9 times out of 10. The people who are 10 out of 10, y'all different species. But when it comes to credit cards, right, and like how we accrue our debts and all that stuff, also comes like our credit score and what our credit score is, right? And that's super, when I tell you, super important in America, your credit score. So important. So like, let me tell y'all, when I first moved out, I was 21, I got my own apartment. And I did that because I was living in a different state, so I needed to get my own apartment. Like I couldn't live on the street. I didn't want to live on the street. So I got my own apartment, and of course, they ran my credit score. I don't even know what my credit score was back then. Then I called, and I thought that was normal. But then I called to get my cable and stuff set up, and they were like, oh, like you're gonna have to pay $200 fee, or we can run your credit, and like depending on like which credit is, we can get that waived. Then the girl was shook if like, what you mean? I gotta pay you $200 to set this up? Like, huh? But they ran my credit, and apparently I had some really great credit back then because I didn't have to pay that. They waived the fees. Actually, every company waived the fee when I first moved into my first apartment. And that to me was crazy. Like, one, that even to my electricity, my phone line and my internet, you needed to run my credit score. You need to see like what my credit was looking like. That was ridiculous to me, right? But that's also when it taught me it is very important to have a good credit score in this country. Like, this country runs on credit, and they don't play with that. So that's why we need this video and to know what the hell we're doing with our credit, okay? So a credit score is a numerical expression based on the level analysis of a person's credit files to represent the creditworthiness of an individual. So remember what I told you guys, lenders use credit scores to determine who qualifies for a loan, at what interest rate, and at what credit limits. That is so important. But I'm going to talk to you guys about what impacts your credit score to begin with, right? Because to get a good loan and interest rate from a different company, you need to have better credit scores. And it all just ties together. It's a looping cycle to tie itself together, right? So there are 3 types of impacts you can have on your credit score: high impact, medium impact, or low impact. You're always going to have something that falls into each of these categories. It's not negotiable. Like, you just can't avoid it. So something that is a high impact on your credit score is your payment history. Are you paying at the bare minimum your bills on time every month? Do not miss out on paying your cards. Don't do it. Don't be waiting no 30 days talking about no baby, because that's hitting your credit card so hard you don't even know. That thing will have you dropping 10 points at a time. Okay, maybe I'm dramatic. But it will definitely have you dropping points at a time. The next thing that hurts your credit score really bad is credit utilization. Credit utilization is how much of your credit of your credit lines are you using, right? The goal is to always be under 30%. I like to stay safe. Is it 30? Yeah, under 30% is where they tell you. I like to stay safe. and I say 25%. You want your credit utilization wants to be 25% or under. Don't go crazy, because the higher you go, the more it's a red flag. Like, oh, on like 6 of your cards, you are at 95% utilization. Maybe you cannot afford to pay all your bills, and what's happening, right? It just raises red flags for people, that leads them to not believe that you are capable, right, of paying your bills and paying them on time, and like, you know, like you have extra cash floating. Because when it sees like that, they get concerned. It doesn't help if you're trying to open another card later down the line. Credit utilization definitely is what they'll look at, and they'll be like, nope, you have a high revolving credit line. You're too risky. You're a risk of not paying back that loan and having that debt, and we don't want it, because they want their money back plus some, so they don't want you. The next thing that is a high impact on your score is derogatory marks. Derogatory marks are: you didn't pay your bill, you defaulted on the loan, you went bankrupt 6 years ago, actually 2 years ago. Like, all those are derogatory marks, and they have a high impact on your score. It is very important that you do not have derogatory marks on your record. Like, it just is what it is, boo. Like, do what you gotta do at all points. Be very aware and very cautious of what you're doing to your score, because I know now you're thinking it's all fun and free because you're young, but very quickly it catches up to you into adulthood, and when you need it, you want to be able to actually have it. Derogatory marks are also can also be, I believe, not paying your bills on time or defaulting on a loan. All those are derogatory marks. So defaulting on a loan, not paying on time, talking about like, I ain't paying these student loans, all them things gonna be a little bit derogatory, baby. Like, they're not gonna like that. So the things that can have immediate impact on your credit score: age of credit history. There's nothing you can really do. There's nothing like you can do about it. There's something your parents could do about it. Like, so depending on your age, the age of your credit history, it can be helped, right? So say when I was 16, my mom could have helped me with the age of my credit history, because she could have made me an authorized user on one of her cards, and not give me the card, because Jesus, no, I didn't need to hold no damn cards at 16, but she could have used it, right? And I would have helped the age of my credit history. It would help my credit score from a young age. So by the time I became 18, the time I got my first card, I think at 19, 20, I don't know, somewhere around there, I would have been good, right? I would have had a really solid credit score to begin with, because my mother would have set me up for that in the future. And I say my mama because my mama has better credit than my daddy. My mom's credit is A1. My dad's credit, we don't want to talk about him. Ignore him. But like, that's why I said at this point, I can't help the age of my credit history. It is what it is. I got credit however many years ago. I got credit now, and it will stay. It will be a medium impact for me for a little bit. But that's what the medium impact is: the age of your credit history. So low impact are the total number of accounts you have and the number of hard inquiries. So the total number of accounts you have are low because, like, you could have 20 accounts, but like they're all under 10% utilization. So you can't tell me I can't have these cards. But typically, if you have that many cards, it's usually not under 10% utilization. You're probably using them a lot more than you should be, because you usually only have like 1 or 2 cards if you really don't use your credit cards that much, because you just need some credit to build it, not like to be spending like that. Nobody needs them cards at all. At all. The number of hard inquiries. Hard inquiries are when you request a new card, do a student loan, personal loan, when you apply for a new card, credit card, a store card, when you apply for a mortgage, a student loan, a personal loan, all hard inquiries. If you so even when you call to set up like your internet and your cable, when they check your credit, it's a hard inquiry on the bill, on the list. And there are hard inquiries you can't get around at all. Like, those hard inquiries you can't get around. Like, it is what it is. But the goal is, right, to not have too many hard inquiries on your account, which is why you can have 16, 17 cards, but it doesn't make sense, because all them hard inquiries in your card will kill you. Like, they are too much. They are way too much. Like, don't do it to yourself. I think it is average to say maybe around 1 or 2 hard inquiries, depending on what you're going through in your life. I'm at the age where I had to do student loans back to back to back, year after year. So like I think I had like quite a few numbers of like hard inquiries, just because I was in college and I needed them because I needed my loans to go to school, right? But now that I'm an adult, they've fallen off because they fall off after like 2 years. They've fallen off, and now I think I have like one or two, because a girl doesn't open credit cards. I don't have like personal loans or anything like that. Like I just be chilling like a villain. Like I'm gonna tell you. So what I will say, right, if you have not been conscious about credit cards and your credit score, it's very important to get in control of that, right, and to figure out what's going on. I'm gonna tell you, the only way you survive in America, I don't know about any other country, so I don't want to speak on any other country, but I know the way that you survive in America is definitely by having a good credit score. It's very important to have a good credit score. Having a good credit score is usually in the 800s, but if you sit anywhere between a 700 and an 800, you're looking mighty good. And 800 is beautiful, okay? Beautiful. If you're sitting at an 800, so that's where you'd want to shoot for and aim for. Ways to help yourself in your credit line, your credit score. If you have loans, try to do automatic payments at a minimum payment. I know there was one credit card, and this hurt me and my credit score, but there was one credit card that was like, it was at the end of the month. This one credit card was due at the end of the month, and I always would forget about it. And because I would forget about it, of course, I would forget to pay, and I would pay it late, and that started hitting my credit score hard. And I was like, why am my score dipping? Because I kept forgetting about that one card like every single month. It became a pattern for like 4 months. I just kept forgetting about it. Because like I would open my bills, start paying them. I was like, oh, I have time to pay this one, and then I forget about it. And then I would pay it in the middle of the month, but it was too late because it was already late, and then it would happen again the next month. So what I had to do is I had to make that one an automatic payment of at least the minimum payment, automatically deducted from my account, because I cannot keep forgetting this. I can't keep forgetting this bill. Like, I'm gonna shoot myself in the foot because I can't remember this one. No, ma'am. We gonna have some great credit scores out here, right? I'm trying to be balling like my mama. If you are a parent of a child, I will advise you to keep that in mind for them as well, to help them have great credit scores, right? Because we know the only way they're going to survive in this country is if they have good credit scores. And you can help them start early in life. First of all, teach them importance of having a credit card, using it wisely, using it wisely. I would say when I first got my credit card, nobody taught me how to use it wisely, so I used it very incorrectly. I was having spending sprees on my card. I was balling out on my card. And I learned later on that that's not the way I wanted to use my card, and it was not to my benefit, right? It was to my detriment, the way I was using my card, and I needed to be wiser. I needed to look at my interest rates, because I had a card. Oh my God, it was my Amazon card. It had like a 25% interest rate, baby. Excuse me? What? The way I was playing with that Amazon card, I would have owed them for like the next 10 years. And like, if you ever read a bill, right, that they send you, it tells you if you continue paying the minimum payments, you'll pay it off in like 6 years and spend this much money. I didn't spend that much to begin with. How I owe you more, twice as much as what I spent? Like, that didn't make any sense to me, right? So please inform your children. Please inform your children about like financial literacy and credit cards and credit lines, at a bare minimum, what that means and all that good stuff, because it's super important for them to know what they're getting themselves into. Don't let them go into the world blind. I think we should teach financial literacy in schools. I think that's very important. Like, it is a day-to-day function. It's a day-to-day skill that you need, and it's not fair for people to go in there blind, because sometimes you don't have parents, people don't have guardians who are able to teach them these things. So I think if this is something we're going to use in the world every day, we should be teaching our youth these things. I wish I would have learned it when I was in high school, and not because I made the mistakes as an adult and then I had to learn and correct it myself. I wish that's not the way I've learned it, but it is the way that I learned it, right? So with that, I want to help you guys, and I want to give back in that sense. So parents, please think about please make sure you teach your kids that. Please make sure if you are able to, if you're afforded the luxury to be able to add your child to one of your credit lines, to one of your credit cards, right, and make them an authorized user. I don't know about giving them the card, but what I will say is, if you're gonna put them as an authorized user, make sure you use that card, but also pay it off, right? Don't leave debt lingering. That would affect them as well. Be mindful and really think about what will happen to them in their future. I've heard of, and I've heard, this is rumors, parents doing shady things to their kids and using their names and their credit, like using their social security numbers and things like that to like get credit and then fucking it up. Don't do that to them. That's not fair to them. Like, life is already hard, especially when we look like us, and you know what that means, right? Like, don't set them up for failure before they've even begun. You want to set them up for success. Like, the next generation needs to be better than the last, and that's always the goal, is to be better than what your parents have done and to grow in that way, because you want your children to be the future, right? They are the future. So the goal is for them to be better than what you are. Always. So you always want to put them in a position to win and to be successful, and this, I believe, is the first step. Honestly, truly, I ain't got no kids, okay? I ain't got no kids. I'm not trying to tell you how you raise your kids, but I'm telling you as a adult, right, who's just in her teenage hoods not too long ago. Okay, a couple years, okay, a little is starting to distance itself from me very, very quickly. But as somebody who was there not too long ago, this is, I would say, one of the very important things. I made my own mistakes when it came to my credit score and my credit history. Because of not knowing, because a lack of knowledge. And I had to go out there and learn it for myself because I cared. Give them the tools ahead of time. Don't let them have to mess up and then struggle to find the way out of it. That's not how it should be. Some good websites for you guys to use to look at your credit score and keep track of that is Credit Karma, a good website and it's like almost like a blog about like saving and credit history, about saving and repairing your credit and all that good stuff, is the Budgetnista. Her website, I'm gonna include that on the screen, but you guys know what Credit Karma is. But the Budgetnista. Yep. So another good website blog that I found is thebudgetnista.com. She talks about everything about saving, about credit repair. She has like books. She has classes. It is, I would say I was going through it and I did it. And I think she's phenomenal. She is another Black woman who like talks about how she gained success and how she's improved her credit score and helped so many other people improve their credit score, help them attain their dreams of like getting mortgages and saving and being able to buy home. When I said getting mortgages, I meant being able to buy homes, so they're able to afford mortgages and afford the payments, you know, save up to get to where their goals are. She was able to help. So I think definitely check out the Budgetnista, check out Credit Karma, two very important websites I think that will help you lead yourself to success. It's never too early to teach your kids and to and to get them on the right steps of financial success, especially in this country, and just knowing more about the finances. Best thing you can ever do, best gift you can ever give. I believe I can say this now as an adult. One of the best gifts you can ever give is that. Show them how you pay your bills. Show them how you balance your accounts. Show them how you do all that, because it will give them such success. I promise you. And that is it for me, guys. I went on a little rant at the end, but I really am passionate about this, and I really believe that this can help us be better, be great. Like, it's so important, and I think really easy to start initiating, start doing. So thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the first episode of the Black Girl Cheat Code. We have more to come. If there's anything specifically you want me to touch on, please let me know in the comments down below. Again, like I said, if you're going to say something about reverse racism, keep it to yourself. Go play with your mamas. Don't play with me. Thank you, because it don't exist. Don't exist. But that's it for me today. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Again, if there's something, like a comment you want me to cover on the Black Girl Cheat Code, please make sure to leave it down in the comments down below. I am here to see us win, and I want us all to win, right? I'm rooting for like Issa said, I'm rooting for everybody black, and that's just on period. That's it. Make sure to tell your mama, your friends, your cousins, and your aunties to subscribe to my channel. Your girl's on a journey to 100K subscribers, and we will get there. I believe it. It ain't no issue. That ain't no problem. That ain't no problem. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.